Hello everyone, Anthony here. Give me a second because I'm dumb. Hello everyone, Anthony here. For some reason, I'm always thinking about people on social media that post about food and all that. Previously, I made a video theorizing how chefs keep people with depression still eating food, as depressed people lose their appetites. Like well-plated and appetizing and amazing looking and tasting food may entice them to at least eat something. Today I'm talking about the importance of chefs posting on social media during this coronavirus pandemic. And it may sound like really stupid, like what the hell do chefs have to do with saving the world or whatever? And it's just a thought that I have had, and I actually think they are important and really helpful, and this is serious and stuff like that. So with the current outbreak, we don't know much about the virus, and we're learning every day. When something like this happens, it's people's immune systems that protect them in the absence of medicines and hospitals and equipment. Due to either supply shortages, not enough space in the hospitals, and or just not knowing what works and how the virus operates and all that. I've been talking about this for a few weeks now, but it's important to keep your immune systems in the best shape as possible, not just during an outbreak, but all the time. Keep yourself as healthy as possible. Our immune systems will decrease the severity of the virus and the duration of it when we get sick. I believe it also decreases the, well, no, it might also, it's not I believe, it might also decrease the chance of us getting sick in the first place with this virus. But in general, cold, flu, all that, our immune system does decrease the chance of us getting sick. So some things I've been recommending and practicing are taking a daily multivitamin. I just bought these last week. I didn't previously take one, and I haven't taken one in a few years, but I just bought these a week ago and have been taking them. It's like a 200-day supply, so 200 pills for like $14 or something on Amazon. I'm sure there's better ones out there, whatever. This is just the quick one that I picked up, and the reason that I picked it up is because it says like 100% of every vitamin on here. There's some that have like 500% of your daily intake and thousands of percent of your daily intake. I didn't really have the time to look to see what my body specifically needs and which ones are the best, because maybe overtaking your daily recommendation of the vitamin may be a good thing or whatever. And I didn't look too far into which vitamins help which parts of the immune system and which vitamins do what and all that. But that's one of the points that I want to bring up in this video, which I'll talk about later, but it's that, well, let me take a note so I remember. All right, so what I was going to say is that if chefs learn which foods have which vitamins in them and which vitamins and whatever, and minerals or whatever help with your immune system or help with whatever aspect you want help with, they can custom tailor their meals and recipes to these bodily requirements that we have. Instead of just making like the best tasting meal or whatever, they can actually make healthy recipes that help us. So that's the other thing. Moving on to number 2, what I've been recommending to people besides the multivitamin is eating fruits and vegetables and meats and healthy carbs. So I know like complex carbs like breads and pasta aren't generally healthy, but I think that's because the refined white flour in like white bread and white rice isn't what's healthy. So it's not all complex carbs aren't healthy, because brown rice is a complex carb, I believe, and brown rice is healthy. It's just like the refined things that aren't healthy. And then the same thing with like refined sugars and stuff, or like simple carbs. Simple carbs like sugar that you find in fruit. Fruit is a healthy source of sugar, and then like white sugar or any sugar other than what's found in fruits, and stevia. Stevia is healthy too. is bad. So it's like these sugars and carbs also lower your immune system, at least from the research that I've done. Sugars and carbs weaken your immune system. Number 4 is stopping smoking. You guys know about my tattoo already. And this is so like I quit smoking in 2015, but there's been like a couple times where I would go to the store to buy cigarettes and I take out my wallet and look at my hand and I'm like, oh no, I can't buy the cigarettes like at the counter. And also like if I smoke, because I'm left-handed, I'll see this every time I go to smoke a cigarette. So there's been times where like I just get like really overwhelmed that I'll smoke a cigarette or whatever, but I haven't been a steady smoker. So I'd say maybe like once a month, maybe I'll smoke a cigarette, something like that. Anyway, moving on. And like I said, the goal of all these things is to work towards, have this goal that you work towards. You can't just, I'll get into that. Number 5, stopping alcohol consumption or lowering it. You should be stopping it because that weakens your immune system too. Get exercise every day and get enough sleep. So obviously these are all big lifestyle changes for most people to do all these things. So it's best just to have them as a goal and do the best that you can. Make slow changes over time. It's not going to be like a day-night thing where your life is just automatically turned around and you're doing all these things. Just keep in mind to do all these things and try to practice them to boost your immune system and stay healthy and all that. One thing I've been doing, since I find it hard, like I don't always cook meals, and when I do cook meals, I don't always cook vegetables in them. I don't always buy vegetables at the grocery store and all that. So what I've been doing is drinking these V8 energy drinks for the last 6 months. I order them on the subscribe and save on Amazon, which saves 15% for a case of 24 of them. So a case of 24 of these I pay between $13 to $15 for. And I order like 4 or 5 cases a month. But I don't drink these for the energy. I drink them because they're the lowest ones that I've found with sugar. These ones and the V8 hydrates, they're the lowest ones that have sugar. The non-energy V8s have like a ton of sugar in them. So I stay away from them. So anyway, talking about chefs and what I mentioned a little bit before, like in times like these, chefs are the ones that make like the appetizing meals and post them to social media, and they have like an influence and following to entice people to cook for themselves. And I see mothers all the time like looking at recipes on Facebook, online or whatever, to get ideas for things to make, like meals for their family and everything. So chefs who do this with healthy immune boosting ingredients in mind influence society as a whole and push society towards a healthier immune system to where they can fight this virus, or at least have a much better chance of fighting this virus. There's other things too that chefs can teach us that are kind of like out of the scope of this video, what I initially wanted to talk about. But chefs can also teach us to cook meals with limited ingredients. Say that like a grocery store is out of stock in most of the ingredients or whatever. Chefs can come up with like creative ideas to use maybe only like beans and ketchup or what's in stock at the store or something, and they can figure out some meal to make with them. I guess prisoners would do the same thing, would be creative meal makers as well. Anyway, chefs can also teach us how to make things like bread when bread is not available in the store. Healthy whole grain bread, ideally, because we are talking about healthy immune boosting stuff. But when the pre-made bread is sold out at the store, chefs can teach us how to make bread at home. They can also teach us or show us like alternative ingredients to use. Say that like milk is out at the store, they can teach us like how to use like powdered milk or condensed milk, or I don't know, just different substitutes for ingredients that are out of stock at the store. They can also teach us how to repurpose leftovers. For example, when I was a kid, my father had this one friend who would order Chinese food for dinner at night, and then in the next morning he would make omelets out of the leftovers. So like he would use some of the pork fried rice to make an omelet, or whatever, just chop up like the leftover Chinese food and make an omelet for breakfast out of it. Another good thing with chefs is they also can teach us how to store foods long term. So when you're buying in bulk because you're afraid of the grocery stores running out of food, which I think is going to happen as like workers get kind of pissed off, which is going to be another video, I think, but you need to say thank you to your workers and appreciate them, because that's the only thing that's keeping them in these stores and working and everything like that. But where did I leave off? So oh yeah, so when you're preparing and you have to buy in bulk and prepare maybe for like 2 or 3 months or something, like you have to know how to store your food so it doesn't go bad. So wrapping your meats in saran wrap to keep them airtight when you put them into the freezer will extend their life. But chefs being in like the restaurant business, all the wasted food, any food that's wasted, cuts into profits of the restaurants. So restaurants are very knowledgeable on how to keep food long term and how to reuse leftovers and all that. So chefs can teach us a lot in crises like this. But yeah, we're coming up on the end of this video, but that's what this video is mainly about, is if there are any chefs out there that can start making healthy food and posting on social media and that, and not even just chefs, like if you're a mom cooking at home or just anyone cooking at home, here's a picture of what I cooked yesterday for dinner: rice, chicken, carrots, peas, corn in the crock pot with some gravy. But just not even chefs, just anyone who cooks and posts on social media, your friends, the people that follow you, are going to be influenced and be like, hey, that's a good idea. I want to make the same thing. Especially if you give them reasons like, hey, this is why I'm making it. We need to do this right now. We need to get these vitamins in our body because to help our immune system, because this coronavirus stuff has taken place. So chefs do have a greater goal, or could have a greater goal, than just becoming the best chef in the world who makes the most tastiest meals or whatever. They can also play a vital role in helping society through things like this and making society a healthier and happier and longer living place to be. All right, so that's just what I had to say. Take care, guys. Thank you, and goodbye.